Yeah, hi everyone. As per normal, we'll do the chanting first and also then the meditation, both the breathing meditation as well as love and kindness meditation, and then the short Dharma talk. And just to remind you, the reason why we're doing it in this format is so that you get some practice in as well. The chanting practice, chanting is for the purpose of absorbing the mind with the teachings of the Buddha, and so that then we can recall them at any time so that we can contemplate them and really get to understand them and put them into practice. And of course, the meditation is also there to absorb the mind with concentration, loving kindness, and wisdom as well. So that's the reason why we're doing that. I know it means that the Dharma talk is quite short, but at least you get the opportunity to then contemplate what we speak about. And as you know, I posted on Facebook each video within a few days of us doing this class today. And then you can replay it again over and over so that you get to really have the opportunity to contemplate and get to the real meaning of the teachings. As per mentioned, is mentioned in the past, we will be doing, I'd say we're starting within 2 weeks, the Q&A class as well. So we can go into more depth, in depth in that class than we can in this one. Okie doke, so let's begin. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato SammaSambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato SammaSambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato SammaSambuddhassa. Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, Sangham Saranam Gacchami, Dutayambi Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Dutayambi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, Dutayambi Sangham Saranam Gacchami, Tatayambi Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Tatayambi Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, Tatayambi Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the 6 paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the 6 paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I am enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Through the positive potential I create by practicing the 6 paramitas, may I soon attain enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May they be free from suffering and its causes. May they never be parted from their happiness beyond suffering. May they abide in equanimity, free of bias, attachment to the near, and aversion from the far. I shall cause this great compassionate Buddha, please inspire me to be able to do so. Reverently I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and present clouds of every types of offerings, actual and mentally transformed. I confess all of my negative actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in all the virtues of all holy and ordinary beings. Please remain until cyclic existence ends, and turn the wheel of Dharma for all sentient beings. I dedicate the virtues of myself and others to the great enlightenment. However innumerable all sentient beings are, I vow to save them all. However inexhaustible my delusions are, I vow to extinguish them all. However immeasurable the Dharma teachings are, about to master them all. However endless the Buddha's way is, about to follow it completely. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Tayata Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Soha. Tayata Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Soha. Tayata Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Soha. So now get yourself in a comfortable position for meditation. Gently close your eyes. Have your lips gently touching with the tongue resting on the upper palate above the top teeth in the mouth. Don't be lazy with your posture, but also don't be rigid with your posture. Middle path. Now bring your mind to your body to release tension from different parts of your body, if you can. Starting at the feet, tips of the toes, balls of the feet, the arches, the heels, the top of the feet, and around your ankles and Achilles tendons. From your lower leg, the calf muscles and the shins, and around your knees, the front, sides, and backs of your knees. Your upper leg, the quad muscles at the front of each leg, and the hamstrings at the back. From your midsection, the glutes, the hip flexors, and the groin. From your lower stomach and your sides, on and above your hips, and your lower back. Further up your stomach, up your sides, and to the center of your back. Your chest area, under your arms, and your upper back. The lateral muscles, and the rhomboid muscles that run between the shoulder blades and the spine on each side. From your upper trapeze muscles that run between the neck and the shoulders, as well as your shoulders. Your upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, fingers, and thumbs. And now bring your focus to your neck and release any tension from the front, sides, and back of your neck. From the back of your head, the sides of your head, around your ears and temples. And from your face, around your cheekbones and cheeks. Make sure you're not clenching your jaw, your chin and mouth, nose, sinuses, eye sockets, and eyes. And make sure you're not frowning on your forehead. And finally, release any tension from the crown of your head. And now scan your body briefly again from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers and to the top of your head, just to see if you can release any more tension that may be left over. And now gently bring your focus to your breathing. Initially the tip of your nose. And the object of the meditation is the breath. So the feeling of the breath, you follow this, focus on this as you breathe in and you breathe out. As you breathe in, the air passes the back of your throat. It's quite cool. And as it enters your lungs and they fill with air, they expand. And as you breathe out, they compress as the air leaves them and passes your throat. It's quite warm on the way out. So keep following the breath, the feeling of the breath as you breathe in and out. If distractions such as thoughts or feelings arise, don't cling to them, don't grasp at them. Don't forcefully try to push them away either, or deny them. Just let them come and go naturally by refocusing on your breath. If your mind becomes dull and sleepy, do likewise. Just recognize it, be aware of it, and then conscientiously replace your mind back onto your breath. This way, replacing the mind onto the breath is the antidote for both the distracted and agitated mind, as well as the dull and sleepy mind. And now we will do this in silence for a few minutes. So now you can feel very pleased with yourself and rejoice in the fact that you've engaged in this short meditation. Of course, I encourage you to meditate consistently outside of our classes, of course, especially that we're doing it such a short meditation in these Zoom classes. Try to put aside some time every day so that you don't put it off. Don't try to do too long either, so that you don't put it off either or burn yourself out. Just what suits you. I think 20 minutes is a good amount of time, though even up to an hour is exceptionally good too. But it depends on yourself. And you can also contact me and let me know how your meditation's going at any time. Very welcome. So now fill yourself with loving kindness, appreciation, respect. You can do this in the form of just the feelings, which is of utmost importance. Or you can utilize visualizing white nectar or white light in your body. And likewise, as we share this with others. So now radiate this love and kindness to your family and friends, wishing that they are happy, peaceful, and free from suffering. Keep radiating this love and kindness out further and further, now to include strangers, those people you might not know at all, or you may know them just a little bit. And also just to their enemies, those people you find very difficult. Wishing that all these people have happiness and the causes of happiness, that they are peaceful, and they are free from suffering and the causes of suffering. Now extend and radiate this loving kindness out to all living beings, initially around your immediate area. All of the living beings that live on the earth, in the waters, fly through the air. The ones that are born from wombs and from eggs and from moisture, and also through transformation. Wishing that they are happy and free from suffering and that they are peaceful. And now throughout your state or county, like a tidal wave of loving kindness out further and further, keep radiating this loving kindness. This loving kindness is immeasurable, and it's known as immeasurable because it can be developed to an immeasurable level beyond limit. And it also is beneficial and brings benefit to innumerable living beings. And now throughout your whole country, may your whole country be peaceful. May all of the living beings be happy and free from suffering. And throughout other countries, firstly that you're familiar with, either directly or indirectly, and then those that you're not familiar with. You may not know about them at all. But we can be sure they have living beings, so may all of the living beings be peaceful, happy, and free from suffering. Throughout the whole world, may the world be, or may peace pervade the whole world. And beyond this world alone, throughout the whole solar system, share this loving kindness everywhere. And throughout all of the solar systems and other bodies within this galaxy. And all of the galaxies and other objects throughout this universe. And throughout infinite space. May love and kindness, peace, happiness pervade everywhere throughout infinite space. And now be present here and now, and we will recite the dedication prayer. Due to this merit, may I soon attain the enlightened state of the Buddha, so that I may be able to liberate all sentient beings from their sufferings. May the precious bodhicitta, not yet born, arise and grow. May that born have no decline but increase forevermore. And may the precious view of shunyata, not yet born, arise and grow. May that born have no decline but increase forevermore. So, we will continue our discussion on the Eightfold Path. And the Eightfold Path, to remind you, can also be known as the three higher trainings. The higher training in morality, the higher training in meditation, and the higher training in wisdom. So the subject that we're on at the moment, it kind of crosses over all of the trainings, but especially the meditation training and the wisdom training. So I'm doing them all together in a sense. We're speaking about the 51 derivative mental factors at the moment. And we've already spoken about the omnipresent ones, the object determining ones, and we've got through 3 of the 6 root delusions or root mental afflictions. We need to get to know all of these details so that we can recognize when these states of mind or these mental factors arise, especially the negative ones, the unwholesome ones that we're talking about at the moment, so that you can let them go, so that you can replace them with a wholesome attitude or thoughts. And also we will speak obviously about the virtuous states of mind that we need to adopt, nurture, increase, and eventually perfect. So the 6 root delusions or 6 root mental afflictions are ignorance, attachment, aversion, pride, doubt and uncertainty, and wrong views. We've already spoken last week about the ignorance, attachment, and aversion. So if you don't recall that, or if you're new to the class this week, then you can have a look on Facebook at the video. I think I posted it last Monday or Tuesday. So have a look at that so that I don't go over these 3 again. But just to recap very briefly, the ignorance is obviously the opposite of wisdom. It is the ignorance that has a belief in a self of other. So therefore thinks in a dualistic conceptual way. No understanding, of course, or very little, if any, understanding of the law of karma, the 4 noble truths and the Eightfold Path, and how to put it into practice. The attachment is kind of like attachment. You get attachment, or a desire becomes stronger and stronger to that which you find pleasing. And you exaggerate the good qualities in the things that you find pleasing. So unless you work to decrease attachment, then the attachment continues to reinforce itself. It's very difficult to remove the more it's reinforced, the more intense it is. And so it can be likened to, getting a greasy stain or grease and oil on your t-shirt. It's very difficult to get out. So you can get out the gross aspects are very easy to remove, but then to get really rid of it, you have to really delve into it. Just as we need to delve into and really dive deeply into our Dharma practice, be consistent in our Dharma practice. And aversion is the opposite of attachment. It is, we get aversion to those things we find unpleasant and therefore exaggerate in our mind the faults or the negative qualities of these objects. You can also use the word repulsion. We can be repulsed by this. Like for instance, if you have in front of you your favorite meal cooked very well, we tend to get attached to that. And then we want it over and over and over again. But if you have a pile of poo in front of you on a plate, then you have a repulsion to this. And then yuck, 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 you're not going to get attachment to it. That's a really extreme example. And I use the example of poo just to give you a laugh. So I saw some smiles on the faces. So anyway, of course, we have many different examples we could give for this. So today, right in the beginning, I'll talk about pride. Pride is an interesting one when you speak about it in the English language, in Western cultures especially. Normally we think pride is a good thing, to be proud of yourself, to be proud of your children, to be proud of your family or your friends. But it's very limited and can lead to very negative states of mind. The pride arises initially because we have this belief in self and the self of other. We discriminate between those. And of course, then arising from that comes the attachment to and the aversion from. So let's, for instance, if you are with people that you think that you are above, that you are greater than them, then the pride can give rise very, very quickly to arrogance. Like separating and making yourself all puffed up and overconfident and so forth. Living not in reality, of course. Then, of course, if you're with some people that you find that you think are above you, then this can give rise, or this pride can give rise to jealousy and envy very quickly. And then if you are with people that are, you feel that are equal kind of to yourself, it can give rise to an unhealthy competitiveness, trying to one up everybody, trying to put them down and lift you up again, so this arrogance, this unhealthy competitiveness, and this, you can say, low self-esteem and jealousy and envy, very closely related, and they all spring from pride, which once again springs from the ignorance, attachment, and aversion. Just to get a couple of notes so I don't forget anything. So basically we have a misconception of this idea of an inherently existent self, this permanent self that is separate from others and other things, other phenomena. We have a lack of respect for others due to this pride. And also we can have a lack of respect to ourselves, even though it doesn't look like that. And maybe I can ask you a question. So say you have children or you have grandchildren, or if you don't, close friends that maybe you regard as children or as relatives. Maybe you'd be proud of your children, or even if they're adults and they're studying, you'd be proud of their work, their studies. You're proud if they get an A or something in their tests. But the question is, are you proud of the neighbor's children? Are you proud of the people's children that maybe you don't like? Well, not the children, but the adults. Are you proud of them? We actually probably don't care. We don't think about them. They're like strangers. So this, even if you think about this pride in a positive sense, giving rise to confidence and trust and so forth, then actually it's very, very limited, even from that point of view. And we don't want to be like that. That's definitely not a mind of equanimity. That's a biased mind. So then that's enough for that one. So pride is definitely a negative state of mind. It can lead to arrogance. It can lead to haughtiness. It can lead to an unhealthy competitiveness, and also to jealousy, envy, and low self-esteem. The next one is doubt or uncertainty. Now, a lot of people in the past have said to me, oh, but doubt, it's not so bad. First of all, this doubt, I must say, is not like an intellectual doubt where it would lead us to investigating and to analyzing certain phenomena or certain teachings or certain mind states. This is not the doubt we're talking about here. That in Zen Buddhism is known as the great doubt, because it leads to understanding and leads to wisdom, where we're doubting things that we have firmly grasped hold of and believed in the past blindly. So now we are opening the mind. That one leads to opening the mind. So the doubt we're talking about here is an uncertainty. And of course, uncertainty can lead to procrastination, to putting things off and engaging in actions that are not helpful, rather than those that are helpful on the spiritual path. So it is a very negative state of mind. It's not just, so what, I'm uncertain about something. It's actually, it can never lead to enlightenment. It can never lead to wisdom and true compassion. Because we're always doubting ourselves, we're doubting our abilities, doubting if we can even do this. I'm not good enough type of thing. It also leads to the type of doubt that you have doubt in the teacher, whether it's your Dharma teachers now or in the Buddha as well, or in the masters that have given commentaries on the Buddhist teachings throughout the last 2,600 years or more. And if we have a doubt like that, then how can we possibly have the confidence and trust. You could say faith, into looking into that, and really analyzing it, and so that you get to understand that. And also in the teachings themselves. So there's three types of doubt, you could say. That's the doubt in yourself, the doubt in the teacher, and the doubt in the teachings. It's the opposite of confidence and trust and faith. Now that I mentioned faith, even though I'll go into it a little bit more when we get to the virtuous states of mind, faith in Buddhism is, you could say, it's not really like, I don't know much about the other religions because I haven't practiced them, but you know how there's a faith in something. They have to have this faith. They call it faith-based religions. Buddhism is not faith-based. It's you have to really look into things to before you really believe it. The Buddha said, you don't believe even what he has to say. If you believe blindly what he has to say, then you are not doing as he says. And also, you're not giving yourself the opportunity to develop true understanding of the teachings, the methods, and then how to put them into practice. What else can I say here? So yeah, and also our efforts and our stamina while we're making the efforts on the Dharma path, it won't be strong. It will be weak. It'll be kind of like broken up a lot. It won't be like, we like to say thread, a thread that's unbroken. So every day when we're practicing, yeah, we might fall off the path every now and then, but we get back up again. And this is like an unbroken thread as we practice the Dharma. Whereas if we have uncertainty, if what we're doing is right or whatever, we're not really giving ourselves the opportunity to have this unbroken practice. The next point, no, that's all actually. So this doubt is not helpful. So we should, whenever it arises, whenever this mental factor arises in our mind, we should try to alleviate the doubt, okay? Recognize that it will come. You will have these doubts because that's our habit over many, many lifetimes. But it's really good to be aware of it, and then apply the opposite, really look into it and then have more confidence and trust in yourself to begin with. I mentioned faith, three types of faith in Buddhism. You have the faith for faith in the object. So faith in the Buddha or the teacher, and the Dharma, the teachings. And then you have the faith, the different level of faith of emulation, where now you want to emulate the teacher and the teachings. Be like that. I say very, with a little bit of humor, maybe you could say for myself many years ago, I wanted to be like Bob Marley. Well, actually, no, I shouldn't use that example. I like his music, not some of his other habits. But, I want to be like the Eagles, the Beatles, being a musician. And a singer before. So, maybe I wanted to emulate them. And then I met the Dalai Lama and some other Buddhist masters, in the 80s and onwards. And then I wanted to emulate them, So maybe we need to pick a virtuous object if we want to emulate something. Somebody that's, or some things that are a good example. And of course, you just be yourself. That's the most important thing. Have confidence in yourself. And then you have the faith of conviction. So this is obviously beyond doubt. This is when you've freed your mind from uncertainty and doubt fully. And when you have these three faiths together, that you can call that perfect faith, when there's no more doubts. You don't need to emulate anymore, really, because you see the goodness in yourself. Maybe you even perceive from a conceptual level reasonably clearly that you also have Buddha nature yourself, and you're uncovering this, unveiling the Buddha nature. Okay, so that's doubt dealt with. Hopefully all of you have no doubt now whatsoever. It's a good name for a band, isn't it? Anyway, the sixth one is wrong views. Wrong views, obviously, you can see it's very related to ignorance. Having the wrong view, for instance, that there is an eternal God, that you have an eternal, unchanging soul. Maybe this is called the extreme of eternalism. And so the opposite of that, of course, is the extreme of nihilism, where you don't believe anything exists. Nothing exists. And these are extreme views. And of course, the Buddha's path is Majjhimika, or the middle way, or the middle path. And this is what the Buddha has advised us to follow the middle path. If we start going a little bit this way, then go that way. If you start going this way, then go that way. And try to stay on this middle path, utilizing the teachings, the trainings in morality, meditation, and wisdom to enable us to try to stay as close to the center as we can. Basically, if we have the wrong views, we will fail to rationally and logically reason and investigate and analyze things. Because as soon as you have an extreme view, you don't look at the other side. I must say this, that we only have like a minute or so to go, but I think I gave this example in an earlier class on Zoom. And that is, let's say we're sitting here on a fence, and there's a field to the right and a field to the left. And the field to the left in this example is eternalism. Then there's the field to the right is nihilism, where you don't even believe in the law of karma and so forth. And so if you are in that field that is eternalism field, then you don't see the other one, the nihilist. You don't see the middle path even on both, fully. If you're in a nihilistic field, you don't see the eternalistic view. So you're in your own extreme. And so that's why I like to say, sit on the fence of the middle path, and then you can see everything. And then you can see what is truthful and what is not truthful. So thank you very much. I think we're just about to finish, and I'll see everyone next week. Practice well, train yourself well, be happy, and just smile a lot, smile more.